I want to say to you, listen, Douglas mash up St. Kitts and Nevis. Douglas mash up St. Kitts and Nevis. And any candidate who goes on the platform to support Dr. Douglas, that candidate has no shame. And I don't care if Douglas pay off for his house. I don't care. I don't care if Douglas pay the Marshall Bailey twice for him. I don't care. And I don't even care whether Douglas give him a tin of Vienna sausage, a tin of sardine, a pound of rice in a Ziploc bag to try and fool people. They ought to be ashamed. They ought to be ashamed that they have so pauperized our people that they think a Vienna sausage could do the trick. And a tin of sardine could do the trick. And a pep job at $304 minimum wage is good enough for our young people. I say, listen, take what they give you, but vote them out. Take what they give you, but you deserve better. You deserve better. You deserve to look after your young child. You deserve to be able to buy their clothes. You deserve to be able to pay your electricity bill. You deserve to be able to go in town occasionally and eat something which you want. All you could afford is dry bread. Well, unity will change that. Put your hands together for the unity government that will improve the conditions of life of our people. Now, two things very quickly. When Douglas mash up the country and make us the laughing stock, the highest indebted country in the world, one of it, and one of the countries with the highest murder rate in the world. And so small. That is the point. You call Antigua, find out how many murders, and they're twice as big as us, population size. And Dominica, and you recognize what we have become. But we are saying, having put us in that level of indebtedness, if Dr. Douglas was a decent man, he would have, one, left the Ministry of Finance. Because when he turned it into my capable hands in 2008, for the very first time, from 95, country made a surplus, $131 million. When he was there, between 95 and 2007, it made a deficit. He overspent. He broke every rule in the book to the tune of $700 million. He overspent. $700 million in 12 years. You understand what the man has done to us? And when in 2009, I gave the country a surplus of $141 million again, showing him that it could be done. And everybody with eyes to see begin to say, Harris is the man for the Ministry of Finance. Dr. Douglas, like that wicked king, says Timothy was getting too popular. Let me put him back to agriculture. Let me give him the ministry that he gave C.J. Clyburn. Lord, have mercy on this wicked man. But just to show you how bad that man is, under my watch, the country makes a surplus. And this wicked man goes on the platform and he says, well, Timothy Harris gave me $50 million. You understand the nature? When he was there, it's $700 million lost to the country. I turn around the finances of the country in 2 short years. 131 million in surplus I brought in 1 year. 141 million the next year. More coming in. And yet the man wants to scandalize my good name. So do the arithmetic. When money a thief, Dr. Douglas, that are when business are closed down. The thieving was taking place in 95 to 2007 when the country amassed a deficit of $700 million. I was tight on the public purse. You think me a vagabond like you? When I told you to stop waste the public money. You not only do that. Sam was talking about one of the first act he did. One of the first act he did. He gave a family working at the central bank a duty-free vehicle and the man not working in the government. One of the first things he did, he looked after Mitchell Gums, his friends. And I will tell you how. You all think Timothy can't talk? You all think I don't got me files? So when you hear some of them talk, they must sing for the supper. Ricky Skerritt, I sing for his supper. Charlie John, I sing for his supper. Ask him, what is the use of paying Charlie John to disseminate it? Charlie John has an interest in preserving the government. I challenge Dr. Douglas tonight to deny that over $250,000 is been paid to Charlie John and entities in which he has an interest. $250,000. And what is his work? His work is to scandalize Tim and Sam. His work is to go into a restaurant, see who is talking to Lindsey Grant, send back a baby message. One time I home sleeping, a baby from Charlie John wake me up. What was the urgency? Come over here by Sugars. You will see Howard Whitterson, Trevor Blake, and Lindsey Grant talking. What has got to do with me?
Somebody thieving this soul of me nation. Somebody gone with the love that we had. Somebody thieving this soul of me nation. Somebody driving this country.
You understand what is happening? It is the soul of our country. When our leader stooped so low, want to know who you're talking to. Paying and wasting our money. And while he's doing that, you can't pay your lights bill. You got a raise of thousands of dollars. And $250,000 is being wasted for a man to stay in the sands. Employ 4 people from Douglas constituency. And what is their job? Their job is to listen to voices. Write out all who call in and give their name and put down on paper what they must say. You understand why we find ourselves where we find ourselves in debt? And when I spoke up to him, he told me, Tim, you're going like the money are yours. As a prime minister, my grandmother told me, when money not yours, you look after it better than if it was yours. She always say, old costs new. Dr. Douglas told me, well, his philosophy, he preferred to spend all the money out the treasury than left money there for Pam. He told me that, and he can't deny it. He told me, a trained mind, that he prefers to go to the IMF for big money than go for small money. We're getting some blessing. I want to say to you, we deserve better. We can do better. We can build a more prosperous country for all of us. Different colors, but one people. We can get our economy growing. We can reduce that high cost of electricity. We can take VAT off of food and medicine, and unity will do that for you. We can do that. He told us in his last budget, he made $115 million after VAT. And that VAT yielded 58% more than he needed. The electricity is killing us. Somebody look for the page, maybe 91. Paragraph 91. The electricity is a problem. Everybody knows it. Electrofab knows it. Jaro last year, November, sent a letter to the government. And they said, listen, if you all ain't do something and allow us to get a generator, we're going to close down. Jaro last year, November, threatened to close the factory because it told the government every month we're paying over $100,000 on average for lights. No business could survive paying $1.2 million a year. So we know this is a problem. And when you look in your communities and you hear, why the electricity people, they was in Taba, they were in Atlas, they were in Newtown, and the amount of people they cut off and left in darkness. You say, Lord, our people deserve better. How come nobody answering to the cries of the ordinary people? Why should the child come home to darkness in the house? Why should the grandmother go to sleep with no lights? Because a heartless government, which should have been for the poor, taxing them beyond measure. How come they boast about this laptop program, and when the child reaches home, no lights in the house? It doesn't make sense. And that is why I say the elections are about you. You have to take a stand for a better St. Kitts and Nevis. You need the relief. And while you need a real bailout, Douglas looking after the foreign people then. You heard him the other day? You heard that he bailed out Christopher Harbour? $42 million, your money. Gone not to you. Not to wipe out the arrears on your electricity bill. Not to build a new hospital at Mary Charles. Not to build a new health center at Tabernacle. $42 million gone over at the peninsula to help a foreigner and none for us. Nothing for us in the land of our birth. Nothing for the small contractors who need a help. Nothing for the shopkeepers who want some money to build up their stock because they trust it to poor people. And on the minimum wage, poor people can't pay. And when some poor people can't pay, then I go back at the same shop. I used to do it too.
Catching hell in the country.
Catching hell, catching hell.
Poor people's catching hell in the country.
Catching hell, catching hell.